Hello and welcome back. I'm going to be showing the entry for my Jingle Jam 2020. Last year I took part and did the Scrooge Redemption. This time I've made a game called The Right Gift. The theme was surprise, and you'll see that aspect in a minute. Basically I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I made a game that was a split screen experience, so it requires 2 players. That made it a little bit difficult to try and make the controls and to try and make this game, but you'll see why it's a little bit different than what you'd expect. Basically, it's a competitive hide-and-seek game, but split screen, and you'll see how I've gotten around with some of the issues that you can imagine I was having. So basically, one player plays as a toy who has just escaped the cabin, a recent present. It's come to life, it's trying to escape, and it just needs to survive and not get caught by the child. The child will try and find the player, which is player 1, which is the toy. They'll try and find it after a certain amount of time once they've hidden. So the toy will find a present outside or inside or wherever, and they'll be able to hide in it. After that, the player 2, which is the child, will then have to go and find them, opening these presents in a certain amount of time. Now, let's say that the toy player 1 manages to escape the child in time, then that means that they will win. While player 2, if they manage to hit and get the toy unconscious, then they'll win instead. So here we go, let's show you the gameplay. So you start off, little gingerbread man, didn't have a time to be able to make any kind of other models, but basically got 1 minute to be able to quickly hide and make sure you don't get caught. So let's just pretend that we're playing. At the moment there's only me doing it, so you have to have a little bit of hope with your friend that they are looking away or closing their eyes. So what you can do is you can go, let's just choose this one, and then when I press R, I've hidden, and then it'll immediately bring down the timer to about 5 seconds, and now it's time for your turn, the actual player. So you can press T to taunt. Initially this game was going to be multiplayer, but unfortunately I ended up having some issues. Obviously this is only a 2-day game jam, so I was limited in time, and I thought it'd be fun to try a split screen experience instead. So we're going to try and open this present. Obviously we've got an icon there which tells you you can open one. There we go, so hopefully you can hear that. We're opening them. Nothing yet. Another thing is I mentioned before that you can knock the toy out, which you'll need to do. To do that, you've got to be able you can throw snowballs essentially. Now, as you can imagine, obviously I know where it is already because I saw it on my screen, but I'm just going to play along for a little bit. Basically, if you don't find him in time, the toy wins, as I mentioned before. If you do manage to find it, you'll enter the final stage. So yeah, 3 stages: the hide stage, then there's the seek stage, which we're on now, and once we find it, we're on the chase stage, last part of the stage, and basically the toy will have to run around while you try and knock it unconscious. There we go, we found it. So I can move it over here. Obviously I'm controlling it with 2 hands, so it's a bit awkward. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to near this house, and then I'm just going to quickly do this. And obviously we can see our little our character right there. So hopefully this is showing you what the gameplay is like. I've made it so that the toy can't exactly look straight up. This is partly one of his things, but he can jump much higher, allowing him to dodge easier, while the player can only jump a little bit higher, but he does have full view, essentially. It is first person, while our toy is third person. So let's attack it. So that's 1 hit. You have to do 6 hits. Don't know if that's a bit too extreme. 5 hits. I don't know if that's too extreme. Also, I didn't have much time to be able to test the projectiles crazy amounts. There are a few bugs as well, so as you can see I'm having a few issues. I did my best with the time I had, but basically once you get down low enough, the game will end, if we manage to end it in time, that is. This is a little bit difficult since you can't aim. It's not shooting directly to the center of the screen, which is what I initially wanted, but I ran out of time, so this is the best I got. And then there we go, we've won. So yep, child has caught the toy, player 2 wins. So we can restart, or we can go to main menu. So that's the game essentially. It's a lot of fun with 2 players. It can be a little bit frustrating with some of the controls, I did my best though, and the controls are there and the story's there as well. So hopefully that gave you a quick gameplay of what to expect for this game.